live on television, and when the results are out, they will start gathering out here in the fields. Now, as just mentioned, Mr. Chiam See Tong, who is contesting at Bishan Toa Payoh GRC, is expected to arrive at Deyi Secondary School anytime now. That's the principal counting centre for Bishan Toa Payoh GRC. Now, as for Mrs. Lina Chiam, rather, who is contesting here at Potong Pasir SMC, she has arrived at Cedar Girls Secondary School, which is the counting centre for Potong Pasir SMC. Her rival, Mr. Sito Ipin from the PAP, has also arrived there, we are told. Now, I understand from SPP officials that Mr. Chiam is expected to make a round to Bishan and then to Toa Payoh before coming here at Potong Pasir to address his supporters later tonight. We are also expecting the arrival of Mrs. Chiam shortly after him. Both are expected to arrive later tonight after official results are out.
Well, I think with a lot of Singaporeans staying at home to watch the results, the traffic should be quite clear for Mr. Chiam to move from Bishan to Toa Payoh and
especially at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
All right, time now to update our Malay-speaking viewers. Here's Othman Buhari.
Thank you, Dominic. Saudara, seperti yang kita semua maklum, Parti Tindakan Rakyat PAP tidak dapat membentuk pemerintah pada hari penamaan calon. Bahkan PAP menghadapi persaingan paling besar sejak kemerdekaan. 82 daripada 87 kerusi parlimen dipertandingkan, iaitu ke semua 12 kawasan undi perseorangan ataupun SMC dan 14 GRC. Hanya GRC Tanjung Pagar yang diterajui Menteri Pembimbing Lee Kuan Yew menang tanpa bertanding. Ini bermakna PAP perlu menang lagi 39 kerusi sebelum ia dapat membentuk sebuah pemerintah. Itu dia, anda dapat saksikan infografik keputusan pilihan raya di GRC Tanjung Pagar yang menang tanpa bertanding pada hari penamaan calon. Dan pada malam ini kita akan menggunakan infografik untuk membantu anda meneliti keputusan-keputusan yang masuk. Kesemua kawasan undi menyaksikan pertandingan 1 lawan 1 kecuali SMC Punggol East yang akan melihat perlawanan 3 penjuru di kalangan calon-calon PAP, Perikatan Demokratik Singapura SDA dan Parti Pekerja WP. Seperti pilihan raya 2006, persaingan paling sengit adalah di GRC Aljunied. Pasukan PAP yang dipimpin Menteri Luar George Yeo dan dianggotai 2 pemegang jawatan dalam pemerintah dicabar pasukan Parti Pekerja. Anda dapat lihat menerusi infografik yang tertera. GRC Moulmein Kallang yang diketuai Menteri Sekitaran dan Sumber Air Dr. Yaakob Ibrahim juga ditentang pasukan dari Parti Pekerja. GRC Marine Parade yang diterajui Menteri Kanan Goh Chok Tong dicabar Parti Perpaduan Nasional, iaitu pertama kali GRC ini menyaksikan saingan sejak 19 tahun lalu. Kesemua calon Melayu PAP akan menghadapi persaingan dari pihak pembangkang dalam pilihan raya kali ini. Ini termasuklah 2 muka baru, Encik Zainal Sapari yang bertanding di GRC Pasir Ris Punggol. Beliau akan ditentang pasukan dari Perikatan Demokratik Singapura ataupun SDA, serta Dr. Intan Azura Mokhtar yang bersama Perdana Menteri Lee Hsien Loong bertanding melawan pasukan dari Parti Reform di GRC Ang Mo Kio. Saudara, kesemua 732 pusat mengundi di serata Singapura ditutup sekitar 1,5 jam yang lalu. Ini bermakna rakyat Singapura sudah pun membuat pilihan siapa yang akan mewakili mereka dalam parlimen untuk penggal baru 5 tahun. Kita saksikan warna-warni di sekitar pusat-pusat mengundi siang tadi.
Pilihan raya yang dianggap paling sengit sejak Singapura mengecap kemerdekaan. Maka itu tidak hairanlah jika ramai pengundi yang begitu gairah untuk menjalankan kewajipan mereka kepada negara. Majoriti daripada 2.2 juta rakyat telah keluar mengundi sepanjang hari tadi.
Saya sangat gembira dapat mengundi kerana 5 tahun sekali kita mesti mengundi dan pilih kandidat yang terbaik lah untuk menterajui parlimen nanti.
Malah ada warga negara yang memilih untuk pulang ke tanah air khususnya untuk mengundi hari ini.
Saya di Aljunied GRC, konstituensi yang paling hangat yang sedang diperdebatkan. Jadi saya inginkan suara saya diketengahkan menerusi proses pengundian ini.
Para penduduk Marine Parade pula melihat ini sebagai satu peluang keemasan untuk mereka sama-sama menentukan pucuk pimpinan negara. Ini kerana ramai yang tidak pernah berpeluang mengundi di sini setelah kawasan undi ini tidak pernah menyaksikan pertandingan sejak 19 tahun lalu.
Selalu bila masa mengundi tu, bila tak dapat mengundi selalu kalau GRC saya walk over, macam tak rasa seluruhnya lah sebagai warga Singapura.
Sejauh mana undi anda bakal merubah sistem pemerintahan negara? Kita nantikan keputusannya malam ini. Kita bersama Melissa dan Dominic kembali. Over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Othman. Well, it's time for another break, and when we come back, we'll travel to Teochew territory.
And we'll explain how the battle between the protege and the man who calls himself an underdog is shaping up.
And welcome back to our coverage of polling night.
Vote 2011. Now, social media that has played a huge role in this election. In 2006, there have been a lot of talk about how it's the social media election, but I think more so this time round than even back in 2006.
In fact, right after 2006, we have seen the advent of things like Facebook, and a lot of people have latched onto Facebook, and they've used that as a platform to kind of get their message across to the masses.
And a lot of people have been writing to Channel News Asia's Facebook Connect page, or rather Channel News Asia Connect page, to give their opinions, their comments, and also to catch up on what they might have missed on air.
That's right.
Well, the person to go to for the online chatter, not just on Channel News Asia Connect this election night, is May Wong. May.
You're right about the chatter online. Well, we are seeing a lot of tweets coming in right now, especially when results are not yet even arriving, because it's going to take a while before the first set of results come in. And we are seeing that clearly out of 82, out of the 87 seats contested, there is one GRC which people are focusing their attention on, even if they're not living. And that's the word here is Aljunied. As a lot of my colleagues have said, they are keeping a close watch on Aljunied because there appears to be one of the toughest fights in that particular GRC between the People's Action Party as well as the Workers' Party. And right now, one of the tweets that we have, Aljunied, GRC, PAP or WP. There you go. That's a big question on everyone's lips. Next up, we've got toughest decision ever made heading to the polling center. This was a post slightly earlier, and as you can see over here, brochures mapping out the two different parties talking about their manifesto and what they intend to do for the residents. Moving on to another tweet that we have also, if the winning margin of Aljunied is within 2,863 votes, the losing party can demand for a recount, and that's 2%. And that's when you have actually, the parties can actually request for a recount if it's 2% or less. And so we'll continue to track the tweets coming in, and do follow us on tweets as well. And that is at GE 2011.
May Wong.
All right, thank you so much, May. Well, now this is the second election where Singaporeans overseas are able to cast their votes, and those who have registered as overseas electors could vote at 9 polling centres overseas.
Well, there are 3,452 eligible voters from the 26 contested constituencies, and they could cast their votes at the Singapore High Commissions or embassies or consulates in Yarralumla in Australia, in Beijing and Shanghai in China, in Hong Kong, in Tokyo in Japan, London in the UK, San Francisco, Washington DC and New York in the US.
Well, those in Britain and the United States had a head start while they voted yesterday. Well, according to the Elections Department, polling overseas may take place before voting starts in Singapore, but has to close before polling ends here.
Now, the ballot boxes containing the votes must arrive here in Singapore not later than 10 days after polling day. They will be counted here at ITE College Central's Balestier campus.
Well, if the overseas votes are likely to have an